Welcome to Lawyers Who Care, the video show podcast that highlights attorneys who go above and beyond for their clients. And on each episode, we will meet a new lawyer and they will share stories of when they went beyond legal counsel for the benefit of their client. My name is Andrew Samalin. I'm the principal of Samalin Wealth, a nationally recognized wealth management firm for lawyers, their firms, and their families. And let's applaud lawyers who care and learn from them. Today, my guest is Joshua Brinen. He is the founder and principal of Brinen Associates. Joshua is a corporate tax and corporate law specialist based in New York City, and his firm specializes in serving the needs of small and micro-cap companies, entrepreneurs, private companies, and individuals. Welcome, Joshua.
Thank you for having me.
So, Joshua, there's some pictures behind you.
Yes.
Share with us with what they are.
They're my family. Over here on this side is my daughters and their cousins. I believe that was probably taken at my daughter's graduation from high school. And over here is a trip to Charleston that we used to take, but can no longer do so because my daughter's in Tulane in New Orleans and they start ridiculously early. So there's that. This one, which you can barely see, is the last time I took a bar exam for a client, which was the Nevada bar. And I took my bar notes and riddled them with bullets from a machine gun. And that made me feel better. My children decided to take the constitutional law notes and put them in a shadow box. And over here, up there, is one of my wife, who is a classically trained artist. She did a little sketch for me as a joke, and I framed it, which is a reference to The Sword in the Stone, where it says, "Whosoever putteth cash upon this desk shall make this pencil rise." And it's basically a little pencil stuck in a stone. And right above me, is, if you can see it, is the movie poster for Casablanca, one of my all-time favorite movies.
What brought you to your profession, Joshua?
Oddly enough, my mother told me to. And I wish I could say that there was some greater calling than that. But if you met my mother, you'd completely understand. I'm actually sitting in this house because my mother looked at me and said, "You need to buy a new house." And that was like March during COVID. And in July, we bought the house. And in August, we moved in after the renovations were done. So yes, no, it's unfortunately, it is not a great and storied thing. My mother said, "You're going to law school." And I said, "Okay." Because you don't argue with her. She's like 5'2" of Brooklyn toughness.
I hear you. And it may not be the first time that someone went to law school after their mother told them to.
Probably not.
And how did you come to your focus, your practice focus?
That actually happened in college because I was an English and theater major, and about sophomore year had an absolute panic attack because I had no idea how I was going to make a living. Now, if I knew who Philip Seymour Hoffman and like Paul Giamatti were, I would have stayed with it and we wouldn't be having this conversation. But they didn't exist when I was in college, so I switched to accounting. And so I went through the accounting course and I was really quite good at it. And then I hit tax. And the tax professor called me into his office after the final exam. And the final exam was literally a shoebox. And you had to prepare a 1040. And he calls me in and he makes me explain my logic line by line by line. And he sits there. And I go, "Is there a problem, Professor Jensen?" And he goes, "No, you're getting an A+. The right answer is like $10,000 of liability. You have $6,000 of liability, and I'm just trying to figure out how you did it because I can't find a mistake." And he looks at me and goes, "So what you're going to do is, rather than prepare taxes for the rest of your career and end up hanging yourself from a rafter in 3 years, you're going to go to law school, get your master's in tax from NYU." and you're going to become a tax lawyer, because preparation is not what you want to be doing with your skills. This was after the conversation with my mother. And by the way, that's the last thing you want to hear, like midway through your senior year of college, that you are in the wrong place.
And so the tax component, what drove you, other than the combination of your mom and your professor? What drew you? What drew you to that?
I'm just wickedly good. I can read a tax code and apply it within minutes. Some people play the piano. I can prepare a tax return. Now, understand, I don't particularly like preparing tax returns, and I only do about 20 or 30 a year. And that's only if my client is in such dire straits that no one will sign that return, but I will. And but I just have a felicity towards it. It's just an understanding. I also had some excellent professors along the way, both at New York Law School and at NYU, that really made the understanding of the code just ingrained in me. And it's funny because, as I said, my oldest daughter is at Tulane, and she's decided that she might consider going to law school. And she's like, but I could never do what you do because I'm not good at math. I said, it's not math. It's understanding principles and applying them to your benefit. Math has almost nothing whatsoever to do with it. That literally is what the computer is for.
Mhm.
And so she's kind of interested by that.
And so what are your clients, when they retain you, what are they hoping to do?
Depends on the client. The tax clients generally would like to get out of trouble. I get them at all stages, from I owe $1 million and I don't have it, or even I don't owe the $1 million. Why are they coming after me? And I'm able to either reduce or remove. So, for example, I have one client come to me 11th hour. The accountant who I know well was like, so how do you do a tax court petition? And I went, why are you asking? He says, well, we don't seem to be doing too well in appeals, and we just got this thing called a 30-day letter, and we have like 5 days left. So how do you do one? I went, why don't you send me the client and let me help you on this one? And so we took $1 million of net tax liability down to a under $50,000 bill, including penalties and interest. That's a good day at work.
It's a good day at work.
Good day at work.
And what do your clients generally look like? Are they publicly traded companies? Are they private entrepreneurs? Are they,
Well, we get all walks of life. The tax clients could be just about anybody. The tax planning clients are usually privately held or small public companies who are looking to do better, or high net worth individuals who are looking to eliminate either income, estate, or both in their taxes. Occasionally we have some what I refer to as really last minute estate planning, when someone has used up their unified credit and is going to give away $67 million of assets and doesn't want the IRS to take half. These are people we work with. On the other side, on the corporate side, it's everything from mom and pops to mergers and acquisitions, both on the public and the private side. We're literally in the middle of doing a M&A roll-up, which we have to do as a stock purchase agreement for some reason that I'm unclear on, but has been communicated to me that that's how we're going to do it. And so we're doing that. And because it's a LLC taxing as an S Corp, we are doing a special kind of reorganization to move it both from Massachusetts to Delaware and remove the S election. That's highly complicated, but it sounds a lot worse than it really is. And then, it's just the public companies, they we do their compliance work, we do their offerings, we advise on board issues, either on the public and the private side, and just act as an outside general counsel to wealthy families and companies.
Everyone, this is my guest, Joshua Brinen. He's the founder and principal of Brinen Associates. Joshua, can you provide our audience with your contact information twice, please?
Certainly. You can reach me at Brinen Associates, and the email is jbrinen@brinenlaw.com. And we're at 330 7th Avenue, Suite 501, New York, New York, 10001. That's 330 7th Avenue, Suite 501, New York, New York, 10001. And our phone number is 212-330-8151. That's 212-330-8151.
And we were talking about bourbon.
Oh, yeah.
Can you share with everyone watching today about that story, or did you choose to pass?
No. I never choose to pass. I never choose to pass. So I have a reputation among my colleagues and among my friends and family. I love American whiskey or bourbon. I'll also drink rye on occasion. But they don't understand that I'm 52 years old with 3 children, and that basically I stopped drinking like a college kid or a law student 20 years ago. And so good clients, good friends, good, people I work with, they're always buying me bourbon, which is why I have this massive collection behind me, more over there on a different shelf. I have some in my office. I don't drink that fast, guys. Just put it all together. 1 bottle a year is more than enough. I just don't drink that much anymore. So I end up with an extraordinary amount of bourbon. And I guarantee you, someone's going to come over for Memorial Day weekend and bring me a bottle.
Well, you got to nurse it. You know that. You're 52.
Like once in a while, I drink like 1 glass a couple of times a month. Like, it's not a lot. It's like...
This has been the Lawyers Who Care video show podcast that highlights attorneys who go above and beyond. And if you're an attorney or know one that does, feel free to reach out to us, 914-666-6600, 914-666-6600. Joshua, thank you so much for joining us today.
It was a real pleasure speaking with you.